I'll tell you what, I actually have 6:32, so we'll go ahead and jump in. I set my alarm for 7:30, so I won't keep y'all on here all night long because, you know, we don't have a PowerPoint or anything like that. We're just kind of chatting with one another and getting to know each other tonight and kind of what's in store for 2021 because we've got a lot planned. So I'm kind of using y'all as guinea pigs tonight too because as per some of the evaluations and surveys, and thanks to everyone that completed that, we wanted some more interaction. And some ways that we can do that are through the use of polls. I also have some outside apps that I'll be using throughout the year, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But first of all, just welcome to 2021 and welcome to our Monday Musings. So I guess to get started, if I can figure out how to use this, let's take a poll and see where everybody is coming from tonight. So I cheated. I did try to pull the states that everybody had pre-registered for, but let's just kind of get an idea of how many states we've got represented. And like I say, we're going to use this to kind of get to know one another, but I'm going to be calling on some of y'all tonight too. So
Melody.
Yeah.
I got a screen that said the poll closed before I could vote.
What? Well, it does say that. Did I do that? Huh. Let me relaunch. I may have accidentally done that.
We'll try this one more time.
Yeah, let's do it one more time. Sorry about that, guys. I'll stay away from my mouse.
Okay, that worked.
All right, super duper. All right, we should have about everybody in there so we can kind of gauge it. Of course, most people coming from Tennessee, which we would expect. We kind of started this in Northeast Tennessee last March, on March 30th, right after the pandemic shut us down. And I had a couple of classes scheduled, and we kind of moved those from in-person to Zoom. So that's kind of how Monday Musings got started. But from there, we kind of evolved, and we really didn't know what the pandemic was going to do for us. So we kind of did it in stages last year as far as our scheduling was concerned. But when we finished up in November, we were all kind of thinking it was going to be really promising for that vaccination and all that good stuff to be coming our way during the holidays, and we all know what the status of that is, but unfortunately, I guess we're going to kind of stay with Zoom. So after y'all submitted those evaluation responses, I spent the next couple of weeks, December 15th to the first of the year, kind of putting a schedule in place, and decided that no matter, what we do, if we get the herd immunity and we all get vaccinated, I'm still going to continue the Zooms for this year. You'll notice that schedule was a little funny because based on what y'all kind of said, you kind of like the length of time. So we're about an hour for each one of those classes. But there was a lot of different topics. You notice I left that open-ended for y'all to kind of let me know what you wanted to do. So I know some of you missed last year's musings for the first several months. So I'm going to incorporate some of those throughout this year. That's why I'm doing the non-Zoom component. But the critical thing about adding that, so like next week, it's going to be a non-Zoom. It's talking about the Farmer's Almanac. What I'm going to be doing with those non-Zoom when we're not meeting face-to-face is basically give you information that will kind of tie with whatever we're talking about that month. So for the month of January, we're just talking to one another, getting to know each other. We are going to talk about extension and who we are and what we do and how we can help you. Even those that are not in the state of Tennessee, the presentation I've got together is going to be hopefully useful for you to be able to get to know who your land grant institution is and kind of the things that we do, the things that we don't do, and kind of maybe give you some guidance. And you're going to get some resources through the month of January. That's going to be tied more to some of the things that we're doing in Tennessee and specifically to my group. I see several of the Big Spring Master Gardeners on here with me tonight. We do have a website. That's what you've been utilizing to register. Of course, we have a Google site that's kind of tied to that Master Gardener website. But we are a component of UT Extension in Greene County. So all of the Master Gardeners in the Big Spring group are trained here in Greene County, and any of you that have submitted questions to our Ask Us portal, or you've been to that website, you know that me personally as an agent, I house everything there because I'm very grateful to our group. They have a very diverse background, lots of great projects going on in the county, and my plan is to tie a lot of that in this year as well, and we're able to get outside and actually be actively engaged a little bit more. One of the other examples, just to kind of set the stage for February, we're going to have 2 of these live Zoom meetings. Of course, February is focusing on fruit production. So you're going to get a couple of videos from Monday Musings that we did last year, but you're also every Monday morning, not just in February, but every week, every Monday through 21, you're going to get publications that are going to tie along with that as well. So all of these are going to be supplemental in February, tying directly to fruit. And if you'll notice, on that February 22nd date, we're going to talk about basic fruit management. But a lot of that is going to come from y'all. So when you start registering for those February classes, I'm going to give you the opportunity to submit questions that are related to fruit, and we're going to talk about that in that presentation. Now, tonight we had about 100 of y'all registered. So obviously, if you send me 100 questions, that's going to be hard to get everybody's questions in. But if we have a lot of specific theme questions, then we can help you better, if that makes sense. So again, in those live Zoom sessions, we're just going to talk about things that we've not talked about before. Maybe again, kind of introduce you to some new themes, concepts, and ideas. So I'm going to shut up talking right now because I want to get to know y'all too. So to kind of get to know y'all, did I share those results a minute ago? I didn't. See, this is why y'all are my guinea pigs. And then, how do I do this? We may not be able to do any more. So let's see here. Nope, that's not what I want. Ah! Hey, Lucy, I see you. How do I move to another question? Do you know? Oh, here we go. I figured it out, I think. Let's see how many first timers we've got with us tonight. Oh, we do have a few. Yay! Well, welcome, welcome. I was just kind of speaking to everybody else as just, you know, being part of the gang from 2020. So we welcome all of you here. That's awesome. And we do have a lot of fun. It is a little bit hard to, you know, try to have everybody's speakers on and have a lot of interaction when we're doing the PowerPoints. But again, we have master gardeners that are helping facilitate the discussion. So just to serve as a reminder, that kind of segues in, when we do these presentations, the chat box is always open, and then I save that chat box, and any questions, comments, or anything like that that you have relative, you know, to that night's conversation, then I'll share that with everybody that participated. So we may have like 100 people that sign up for the class, but only you that actually participate will get that sheet back. So we're not gomming up everybody else's email, if that makes sense. But to kind of go along with that, again, I say sharing with one another, put thoughts and comments, anything that you're doing in your own personal gardening endeavors, share that with everybody else, because that, you know, I've told y'all have heard me say it, and those new to the group, you know, we are all learning from each other. Just because I'm behind the screen doing the presentation doesn't mean I know it all. So I welcome feedback from y'all, and that's a good place to share that. So even though we might not be doing live Q&A every session, we're still going to utilize that chat box. I wish there was a way to make it hide, because every time it pops up, I know it's very distracting to folks, but I don't know how to solve that mystery. But make sure that as we move through the year, you take advantage of that. Okay. See, I keep forgetting to share results with y'all. I'm not very ambidextrous like I used to be, or whatever. So you can kind of see there. 7 newcomers tonight. Can y'all see that? Oop. All right.
Yes.
So we'll stop share results there. Okay, now let's have a little bit of fun. So y'all know that herbs are probably one of my favorite subjects to talk about. And as per the evaluations we got back, I think that might be a favorite subject for all of y'all. So we only get 10 options here, but let's see what everybody's favorite herb is. Lots of choices. I don't think I gave you multiple options on this one either. Oh, see,
You're able to pick multiple options.
You what? Oh, you can do multiple here. Great. Oh, Jenny is drinking mullein tea. Very good. See, I'm seeing a few people that have chosen a few what I call outliers. And some of those outliers are going to be some of the ones we're going to spend some time on later in the year. All right, we're going to end polling there. And then I have to share results. I'm talking like y'all can see all that. I don't know if you can or not. Can y'all see that now? No? Now? Okay. See, we're going to hammer all these kinks out the first night in, right? All right. So you'll notice there, Comfrey, Lovage. Poor little old Tansy, which is my cat's name, didn't even get any votes. I'm going to make y'all like that plant before it's over with. You just wait. Okay, so with that, let's kind of move into some of these backgrounds. So Eddie, I'm going to pick on you because I was coming in and out before 6:30, and every time I came in here, you had a different picture. So we're going to go with the picture that you have on the screen now, and what I want you to do if I call on you is to tell us your name, tell us where you're from, maybe how you found out about us, and tell us about the picture.
All right. Eddie Broadwell, we're from Oregon. My wife and I went to the Bradley County Master Gardeners and enjoyed it. It was great. The picture is our old farm in Oregon. Those are dahlias. I got into dahlias for my daughter's wedding. We were going to grow them all for her, and it was just fun. It's a blast. Little tubers come out. There's so many. You just start with one, then you have from 6 to 10 and on the next season. So I have, as a matter of fact, the dahlias I brought here to Oregon. I planted probably 75 and got 60 dahlia plants. And then my neighbors started asking about them. So I started spreading them around, and now I've given them out, and now I have a dahlia crew. That's my story.
Very cool. Thanks, Eddie. All right, I had some people written down, but their pictures have changed on me. All right, Amber, I see you down there with the sunflowers. So tell us your name, where you're from, how you found out about us, and what your picture means.
I'm Amber Davis. I'm married to the current president of BSMGA. Been out there working with them a lot. So I'm going to try to do it this year. The picture of the sunflowers, I just picked it at random, but we have grown sunflowers almost every year that we've lived here.
Very cool. Thanks, Amber. And she said try to do it this year, y'all, but she is going to. We're not going to let her off the hook. Okay, I'm going to pick on one more. If I can find somebody with a background. Let's see here. Jennifer Pack.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Johnson Pack. I'm in West Tennessee in Gibson County. I've learned about this class on Facebook. It showed up in an event I might be interested in because it was related to other events I had been attending. This is very new to me, so I don't have any gardening pictures for you, but I am learning a lot. And because of this class, I did sign up for the Master Gardener class here in my area that starts in a few weeks. I had never heard of that before, so thank you. I'm very interested in it, but my picture is Falling Waterfalls. It's actually Northwest Arkansas, where my husband is from, and we like to hike and get outdoors quite a bit. So I took that picture a few years ago. I really liked it. So that's my story.
Oh, thanks, Jennifer. Are you going to Madison County? for training?
Yes.
All
Mhm.
right. We'll all be on board together then.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, Art, I lied. I'm going to do one more. So Art Chapman.
All right, well, I'm Art Chapman. My wife Diane is on as well. We're master gardeners from Sumner County, just outside Nashville. And we're vegetable gardeners primarily. We've got now 9 raised beds of vegetables and 18 earth boxes.
Wow.
And we need to do a little bit better at harvesting. We do pretty well at planting, and then we allow the neighbors to harvest because we leave town a lot. And my background behind me there is a sunrise near Destin, Florida, where we have a second home, and we are presently in Florida. Just drove down today through the snow, and down here, although it's 40, 50 degrees, at least it's not snowing.
Very true. I think Mary Forbes is in Florida too. I think she put that in the chat box a minute ago. My dad's a snowbird, so he too is in Florida at present. He may not come back. Okay, thanks. So we're going to come back to some more of you in just a few minutes, but just kind of keep us rolling along. So today, this morning, y'all received a couple of documents, the Zoom and the non-Zoom. And then I'm trying to plug these other documents in for your Happy Monday email, and I was confusing myself. So I thought, well, okay, I'm gonna have to put this in a spreadsheet. So basically I'm working on this one pager so you can see all of it together, and you'll be able to see it in one line for what's going on and kind of maybe keep yourself in line and a little bit organized that way. So also many of you are members of our Google Drive. So we are continuing with that in 2021. So if you are not a member of that, you'll get an email tonight or in the morning that will give you access. You can request access for that. So everything 2020 is in the 2020 folder. So everything from last year is housed there. And then we've already started rolling with January, February, and March. So everything will, for your convenience, will be located there. You're just going to be receiving materials at different times throughout that month related to those topics. And again, just to kind of reiterate on that, I'm going to use February as an example again. But when I send out those musings on Monday, those supplemental videos, and you're going to get lots of different materials, and you can kind of pick and choose what's going to be useful. You'll have a description of it. But as you're watching those on your own, just kind of remember that they're going to build into our in-face Zooms, our live Zooms like we're doing here. So a lot of that I'm going to kind of refer back to. Now, I know not everybody's going to have time to be going and watching all of that every single Monday, but anything that's kind of relative to you, the publications will coincide with that too, if that makes sense. Let's see here. I'm going to try another poll feature, I think. Somebody fussed at me a minute ago. Whoops, I did the wrong thing. Sorry. I didn't share Rosemary. But by and large, Basil takes the cake there. Okay. This is not cooperating with me again. Okay. So when I train new Master Gardener interns, we always do some getting to know you activities. And one of the things I always ask is what their favorite garden activity is. So I'll give you a few minutes to kind of read through that. And this one, you can only choose one. But we do have some weeders in the bunch. Cool. Some of you are not wanting to get on my good side. So for anybody that knows me, I'll share that in just a minute. Okay. All right, well, you notice everybody's favorite is planting. And we're just a few months from, well, probably not even months in some cases. We're just right around the corner from being able to do that. Burning, nobody's selected that. I'm so disappointed in y'all. That's how we get rid of disease. And have social hour together is around the campfire, y'all. Come on now. Hoeing, I've always said that's a good character building activity, but anyway, harvesting, of course, that's when we reap the benefits. Looks good there. Okay, so now I'm gonna skip around. I'm gonna go to
I want to
Barbara.
change my survey question.
Oh, you do what? I didn't see.
I
this.
want to change from preserving to, this is Russ.
Hey,
I want
Russ.
to change from preserving to running the tiller. I like gadgets
Oh,
and
yeah.
things.
When it's running, when it's operating correctly. When it's not, it's no fun. Okay,
Correct.
so Barbara, let's go to you. Tell us about you. Oh, wait, you're muted. Oops. Still muted. Hang on.
There.
There we go.
I'm in South Carolina. I've been a master gardener since 1989, and I have over 4,000 hours of service with our group. And behind me, you see our tiger lilies. And one thing, you didn't have my favorite thing to do on the garden, because I like to walk around the garden and take pictures.
All right.
And we have something in bloom in our yard 365 days a year.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right,
You're
Patty.
welcome.
You want to share, Patty? Oh, wait a minute, you're muted. There we go.
Okay. Yes. Patty Neese. I live in Washington County. I'm part of the Northeast Tennessee Master Gardeners. But right now, I'm at our farm in Cotton County. And behind me is my mother's mock orange. So that's a really old plant. And a new dawn rose, and let's see.
Is that purple salvia, or is it a,
No, that's blue indigo.
okay.
Yeah. And, you know, I've forgotten there's something red back there, but I don't remember what that was, because that was a year before last, I think. But I like moving things around too. But I enjoy gardening at my home in Washington County. I have a moss garden, and love it here on the farm because there's lots of sunshine. Oh, and I have a labyrinth that's real special. That's about it.
Thank you. And again, I see that we got like 60 some people on here tonight, so I'm not going to make it through everybody. But again, I just want to reiterate that we're very glad you're here, and it's just nice to be able to get to know each of you a little bit better. Some more things kind of coming down the line for 2021. I'm experimenting with a video messaging thing where when you open your email, it'll just be me talking. I don't know how well that's going to work. But I'm also planning on using that in some other videos to just like send you short videos when things start happening, you know, not long videos, a couple minutes to show you this is what cedar apple rust looks like. And along with myself, our state consumer work group, and some of you across the state know who those individuals are because you're members of those master gardener groups, but we're going to be working together to do some of that material as well. And so for those that are in Tennessee, not every Friday, and I can't remember the dates right off, but we're going to continue with our Friday focus sessions. So that's going to be for master gardeners in Tennessee only. But a cool thing that we're going to be doing on Thursdays is opening it up to the general public. And you're going to hear more about this in the coming months. And it actually went out in my MailChimp MailChimp newsletter, I think on the 1st of January or whatever. So we're going to have that open to anybody that's outside being a master gardener. And we've had a few folks mention that they're actually going to get started with Master Gardener intern training. So just to give you some background on that, if again in Tennessee, but not to neglect anybody outside of Tennessee, but we are starting our first ever statewide intern training. So this is going to be brand new for all of us as agents. We're used to doing it in person in the county, on location, more hands-on, but we're going to be doing it all together as a group, and counties are going to be kind of doing their own interactive activities as we move through from February to May. So you may see some things that are going to be integrated into our musings just as a result from that. So I just want you to kind of know that too. Speaking also to our January 25th, when I said you're going to get to know who Extension is, one of the things I left out telling you about that is the reason that I'm spending a little time on this in January is because if you'll notice, well, you've not noticed yet because I've not done it, but you're going to notice when I send you some publications in those Happy Monday emails, they're going to be from some of these other land grant institutions. And we all work together, and you're going to learn more about what all that is in a couple of weeks, but we all work together, and some of us are going to be a little heavier in certain programming areas and efforts than others. And that doesn't take away from any of our institutions. It just helps make us all stronger. And we all have created this huge network, and we build on a foundation of teamwork and trust, and we all utilize and share one another's information. So when you get something from Penn State or Cornell or the Ohio State University, West Virginia, University of Kentucky, don't think, what is she doing? We all tend to do that. And a lot of the material that, like, I'm going to be sending you on fruit is going to come from Arkansas because they have a huge breeding program there. So a lot of these newer cultivars that are being released, especially in caneberries, are going to come from that institution. So we're going to tie all that together again as we move forward, but I want you to be aware when you do start receiving some of those publications, which it won't happen until February, but you'll know why that is. Just another thing to make mention of that's really cool, if you are in Tennessee, if you participate or ever have participated in our home garden veggie trials, those are going to be launched this week. So those will be coming to you in your inbox pretty soon. So we've got some pretty exciting selections. For those not in Tennessee, what we do is folks like you actually evaluate different vegetable varieties every year. It's pretty cool. So it's actually citizen science at its best. And I'm going to utilize some of that information to share with you when we get into April, when we start talking about some of our vegetable gardening. Again, I want to tell you that the Ask Us portal is live on our BSMGA webpage. There's a few of us that are answering those questions. It comes into to a spreadsheet, and we can get to that pretty quick rather than answering phone calls, because as most of you know, extension offices are kind of slim, usually just one person kind of manning the office at one time. So if you were to call in here or even send an email, because there's times when I'm working on things, I shut email down. So, you know, a surefire way to make sure that I'm getting that is using that Ask Us portal. So feel free to share that, and we can get questions answered any other time that we're not together on Monday musings. Okay, so I'm going to try the poll feature again, I think. Nope, don't do that one. I'm going to have to figure out how to go from one question to the other a little bit smoother the next time. All right, let's see what our least favorite gardening activity is. All right. Weeding comes out on top, y'all. That's about par for the course. Deadheading, yeah, but we're going to find out in March why that's so important and critical to maintaining the vigor of that plant, which y'all know that too, probably. But I noticed planting didn't even make the list. Very cool. Okay. Now I'm going to pick on a few more of you. Nancy, you don't have a picture up, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Nancy Holland. Oh, wait a minute. We got to unmute you.
Okay. Well, I'm an urban gardener, I guess you would say. I have lots of stuff in my yard. I live in Bellevue suburb of Nashville, Davidson County. So I'm a metro person. And I love plants. I've got lots of house plants. And the plants that I had on my deck, I brought in for winter time because I just couldn't stand the thought of losing any of them. But I've always loved plants. And people ask me if I have pets, and I say I have plants. So that's kind of it. And I just have so much fun seeing them grow and watching them come up every year. And some of the things that I put out when I moved into my house have just really grown beautifully. And so I just love it. But I just love plants.
Plants are powerful, that's for sure. I was going to make a comment on the chat too. Teresa, germinating, seed starting. Yeah, that's one I failed to mention. So very true. Okay, Kathleen Moore. I like the background on your Zoom.
Thank you. That actually is at Douglas Lake, which is out by Sevierville. I live in Johnson City right now, and I am a horticulturist. I got my degree at UT, and I've worked with quite a few extension agents teaching master gardener classes, guest speakers. And I worked in the trial gardens, and that's where I got hooked on horticulture when I was a student at UT. But the reason I have Douglas Lake in there is I'm getting ready to retire from ETSU, where I've been the horticulturist for 25 years. And I'm moving out to the lake. So I'm excited to figure out how to plant plants in the soil out there at the lake. It's all shale. So we'll figure that out. But, and I just got a job today at Dollywood as a horticulturist. So I'm really excited for a new adventure. And yay. So, and I've enjoyed I was in a few of the classes last year, and I wanted to do the whole thing this time because I'm really learning a lot. So thank you, Melody.
You're welcome. Thank you. And this is what I love. You know, we may do this at the beginning of each class, just kind of maybe a few others that we don't get introduced or talk to tonight. We might do that because it's fun to kind of put people's faces with names, or, well, you know what I mean, in the Zoom world. Okay, one more. Audra, why don't you tell us about yourself? Oh, wait a minute. We can't hear you. Is that just me? No, you're not muted either. Uh-oh. You got to love technology.
Now, can you hear us?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I'm Audra. This is my husband, James. We moved to Tennessee about 3 months ago. We live in Washington County, Jonesboro. And we bought a lot of acreage, and we want to try our hand at homesteading. So we are here to learn and see what we can try to grow this year. And hopefully you guys can help us along our journey.
All right. Well, welcome to Tennessee.
Thank you.
And Washington County too. Patty kind of said that too. I'm kind of partial because I live there myself. Speaking of, I've got to call out, was it Amanda Morgan from Haywood County? I don't know if her picture's on here or not, or I don't see her video on, but I'm calling you out because I'm a Haywood County native, just FYI. So kind of proud of that too. So anyway, welcome to the group. Let's see here. What else did I want to make sure that we knew? Oh yeah, I just want to again reemphasize, you know, that this whole Monday musing thing, like I said, it kind of started small and then it evolved into something so much bigger for all of us. And I want it to be helpful and useful to everybody. And, you know, I just want to be able to provide what you need. So again, just remember that it's all about us learning and growing together, and kind of what we're doing tonight, you know, sharing what we're doing, whether it's at home on our own farms, gardens, homesteads, or whether it's within those Master Gardener projects, because, you know, we stand strong, united. And this is one of those places, maybe, I don't want to get into the whole political realm, but, you know, this is a place we can all come together, and, you know, gardening draws us all together, and we do great things when we can get out there. It's good therapy, getting the dirt in between our fingers and toes. And, you know, some of you kind of alluded to that a minute ago. Your vegetable gardens are producing so much more, and, you know, you're sharing with neighbors and sharing with the local food and soup kitchens, and you know, that's just what makes it so great. So just remember, we're going to learn from one another, and if there's anything that, you know, ever comes up in one of these and you're not so sure about, again, just don't hesitate to reach out, and let's get those questions answered. And Master Gardeners here and in Greene County, the Big Spring group, they know that I don't hesitate to say I don't know, but you know, you're gonna hear me in a couple of weeks talk about how we're linkers, and we'll find out the answers one way or the other. It might take us a little time, but we'll do that. All right, so let's get to know a few more folks. Jody, you've got a picture up there.
I'm a Master Gardener in Sullivan County, and the picture behind me is where I volunteer, which is Exchange Place. This was taken in November when Cheryl and I kind of put things to bed, because we don't usually go out there in the winter. Pretty cold up here. We had snow today. I'm sure a lot of you did as well. But I've spent the pandemic time, my husband's going nuts because I keep digging new beds. I come from a long line of dirt farmers, from Bulls Gap and Greene County, and I have vegetables, I have perennials, I have blueberries, have a little bit of everything. I've gotten into natives, a lot of natives, and my friend Christy Chevelle that has Shy Valley, I've learned a ton from her and gotten some really, really cool plants from her. So it's been a great year, and I have learned a lot from your presentations as well. Things that I've gone and asked Christy about afterwards.
Yeah, Christy is a tremendous resource. Actually, a lot of the things on herbs, and truthfully, she was probably one of the first people to ever get me turned on to herbs and some of the more unique and unknown plants years ago when I was actually in, you know, an agent in Washington County. So yeah, she's a great resource, and she has plants you can't find everywhere.
She does. She has things that, and she will try and get them for you if she doesn't have them, which I think is great. I've planted beautyberry and spice bush, and I'm trying to think. Oh, I planted a comfrey that like tried to take over the entire garden. I dug it up, but I don't think I got it all. But still, yeah. It's been a very much a learning situation. Earl, who is in charge of the Exchange Place, has been a gardener for a long time, and he's the president of SAPS, and he has taught me an incredible amount. I was not a master gardener when I started there. I did my volunteer training or volunteering for my Tennessee naturalist volunteer work there, and I was the only one who wasn't a master gardener. And he pulled me aside and said, "I think you need to do this." So I did it, and I'm really glad I did. I was in that class of 16.
Cool. Well, congratulations. And that's what tends to happen. Those of you non-master gardeners, we might rope you in because we really have a lot of fun. And especially, you know, national meetings, state and regional meetings, you know, we have got a lot of opportunities for all of us to network and join together. And it's really cool when everybody can come together like that. A couple more things to make mention of. This morning, like I said, you got an email from me that said Happy Monday, very generic post with those two attachments. But again, that's what's going to be coming to you every Monday, usually Monday morning. If you sign up for the month, I'm going to have you registering by month for Zoom this year. And the reason I did that was because I had a lot of folks that were signing up via Facebook, and then they wouldn't participate, and I had like just bukus of people. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I decided to just do it by the month. And if you register for the live Zoom, then you're automatically going to get the non-Zooms. If something happens, you can't come to those live Zooms, but you want that other material, then just submit that, just your name and your email, where you register for the classes, and I'll make sure that you get that. So you're not going to get inundated with emails. I don't want you to be scared about that. It'll usually be if you're participating in the musings, you'll get an email for that, and then you'll get the Happy Monday. So you're going to get like 2 emails from me. Today I sent a repeat from last night because we had some additional folks that registered today, so I didn't want to leave them out for tonight's festivities, if you will. Let's see. Let me get my thoughts about me. I had somebody else picked on here a minute ago. Y'all keep moving. Teresa Honeycutt, would you tell us about yourself? Oh.
Well, I'm a UT Extension employee in Scott County. I'm a 10-SEP program assistant, and I first went through Master Gardener training in Christian County, Kentucky in 2009. And then when my husband retired from the military, we moved back home to Scott County, and Scott County didn't have a Master Gardeners program at the time, but we do now. So I joined in with the last intern group that Seth Whitehouse held. So I'm really excited. I love all plants. I love seed starting, and I love giving those away. And we plant at the food bank here. We have a little garden. We're trying to do a workshop in the spring with food bank participants. So I'm looking forward to that. And I love all plants. And I just got a new one behind me, and it's a prayer plant. It took me a while to find a nice one. So I was tickled to get to add that to my collection inside this year.
Very nice. Thank you. All right, let me see. I'm going to pick on Bridget.
Hi.
Hey.
My name is Bridget Herbig. I live in Hendersonville in Henderson County, North Carolina. I found out about this through Facebook because I was looking at other plant things. I've always been really big into nature. And then the house we are renting has a lot of old sad gardening area. So I just started digging in and unearthing a lot of things and then putting a lot of things in, and it's just been really interesting. And yeah, I want to learn more, so that's why I'm doing this again. This is my second go.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Edith, are there 2 of you tonight? I saw something confusing in the chat box. Okay, well, you got to introduce yourself. That's just too curious. Wait a minute. We got to get you unmuted. There we go.
Okay, well, what happened was we share Google calendars, and so I just put the link, I said add to calendar, and so that's why we both have the same name, but we're 2 different people, and we both registered separately. So the one that's Edith that's not talking, that's Maria Arbaiza. She's trying to talk now, but she's muted. But yeah, I like this. I'd like to be able to mute her sometime. She's my sister. But no, hey, Pilar, be quiet.
Oh, I didn't even know I was opening up that can of worms. I better move on. Okay, Anna. I've been eyeballing your picture there.
Hi, I am a new Master Gardener in Northeast Tennessee. You were a guest speaker. I just took the class this year, but I am an advanced Master Gardener from Michigan. I just moved down to Johnson City, and I'm loving it, learning a lot of new things. It's a little bit different up in the mountains. I was kind of disappointed that it snowed today, which is the explanation for my picture. I am a retired airline person, and I'm kind of missing being on an airplane these days. One of the things I could look forward to is you can always get above the clouds. Well, for the most part, you can always get above the clouds. So even when it's kind of dreary and snowy and dark down on the ground, you get in a plane and you go up above it and you get to see the sunshine. That's my story.
I love that. That's a good spin on positivity. So thank you. All right, Justin, orders. I'm going to pick on you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Justin. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I think I found out about this through Facebook. I'm not really sure how. It was just like, I think someone shared, like, signed up a bunch of meetings or groups that were related to this, and yeah, happened upon this. I attended one last year, I think maybe one or two, but starting this year off with the bang and trying to get introduced to it. This is me, my picture, obviously, if that wasn't obvious. Those are my hives. I'm a beekeeper. I just got a little bit of land that I'm going to turn into not only bee yard, but also farm. So looking at growing vegetables, looking at growing natives, you know, anything I can get my hands on at this point. Actually just got a bunch of seeds in the mail today from, well, I can't see that, from Sow True Seed in Asheville. So yeah, I'm already winter sowing and trying to get ahead of the game here, but looking forward to what all I can learn in this class and maybe offer myself being a beekeeper and all that. So thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to pick on some more people just because I think this is more fun than listening to me talk, because you all are going to have to do that all year. So, Deborah. Yeah. Wait a minute. We got to unmute you.
Hi.
Oops. Wait a minute. We lost you again. Okay, there we go.
I'm Debbie Higginbotham. I live in Ripley, West Virginia. I'm a master gardener here in Jackson County, West Virginia. And my husband and I have 27 acres and we grow an assortment of things. We're both retired now. And one of the things we really enjoy growing are blackberries, elderberries. We have grapes, blueberries, things like that. But we have a bear problem here. This past season, we had a bear that came in and just helped himself to many of our blackberries. So,
yeah, that seems to be an issue in many places.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And I have enjoyed your class all last spring and everything. It was wonderful. So
good. Well, we're glad you're back. Cynthia.
I'm here.
Ah.
My name is Cynthia Harry, and I live in Greenville, Tennessee. We've lived here about 4 years, I think, and I got my Master Gardener certificate out of King George, Virginia, which is over by the Potomac River, I guess. It's the closest. My husband and I have traveled and lived all over the world because he's in the Navy, or was. I love master gardening. I just wish I had more time to devote to it. We came from Ohio down here, and Ohio has, where we live, has the best soil. You could stick your finger in there and it would grow. So it's learning all new things here. I mean, it's almost like where we were in Virginia, but there's just a slight difference. But anyway, I'm enjoying it.
Well, good.
It's good for us old retired people.
All right, Brent, you want to introduce yourself? Oh, wait. We got to unmute you.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm Brent Tennant. I'm from Kingsport, Tennessee. Actually, by house borders on Exchange Place, so I volunteer a lot with Exchange Place, doing both maintenance and gardening work. So that's primary. I'm a master gardener, and I grow a lot of things in raised beds here in the back of my house and everything. And I enjoy. At one time, I wanted to be a forester, then work in the woods. I enjoy backpacking and do a lot of backpacking trips out west and various places around Tennessee too. So I just enjoy a lot of the outdoors.
Cool. Thank you. Just one more thing I wanted to mention was, I don't remember when it's going to come out, but there's going to be some links for you to access our Facebook page. And there's several of those. Big Spring Master Gardener has a page, and then UT Extension Greene County has a page, and then Tennessee Extension Master Gardener has a page. So I'm going to send y'all the links for all of those. And I'm actually, Master Gardeners here have actually already seen that, but basically all you'll have to do is click on that, and it'll take you to those pages. If you like us and follow us, another cool thing that we're doing, we started this last year on the state level, is pushing out a post every single day related to gardening. So many of you are already on those Facebook pages and know what I'm referring to. BSMGA, we try to push out things that are local to our group, but we also push out publications and videos, and we're going to be showcasing a lot more of that this year on all three of those pages. So I don't, again, want to inundate you with you know, information overload or anything like that, but I just want you to know you have that option to follow those. And we, like I say, push out every day at 10:15 a.m. usually, or when those posts go out. Let's see, Teresa Booty, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, thanks. I was just writing something, writing a reply. So I've been a master gardener for about 6 or 7 years, and I live in the Birmingham area, just south of Birmingham in Shelby County. Now, not Shelby County, Tennessee, Shelby County, Alabama. But I'm originally from East Tennessee. I'm originally from Chattanooga, and I have family from Blount County, Monroe County, Morgan County. So I know Tennessee pretty well. So I'm excited about this group. And I primarily grow roses and hydrangeas. I'm the past president of the Alabama Hydrangea Society. And somebody said, which means about being a master gardener, you just kill more plants than other people. But I really enjoy gardening. I have 2 acres. Not all of it is in gardening, is cultivated, but I was amused about the bear problem because I have deer problem. And we finally put up an electric fence. We tried several things and finally went with an electric fence last year. And so far that's helping. But anyway, I just love gardening. I'm active in my Shelby County Master Gardener Association, and I'm just excited about this. I think I found it on Facebook also. And I think I joined you once last year. Did you not have a session on the geography of the Appalachians?
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. That was fascinating. That was so good. And I joined that, and I was in for that. And then I somehow missed it after that, missed the other sessions. So I'm really excited to be coming back and being in and hearing from people from Tennessee, because I'm stuck down here in Alabama.
Awesome. Well, that served as a good segue, because y'all know I'm like thinking off the fly here tonight, which is so different than what I usually do. But I've got some other things planned, like kind of what she's talking about with Appalachian. You'll notice there wasn't a lot on the schedule for that. But I have some things kind of tucked away to present at alternative times besides the Monday musing class. Also, there was a couple of people, and I don't know if they were trying to score points with me and put Burley tobacco on the evaluations, but I don't know who it was because it was, you know, anonymous. But I am putting together the historical significance of Burley tobacco here in the U.S. So I'm going to be doing a few classes that are outside of our Monday class, but you'll get information on that if any of that stuff interests you. I want to put
Melody,
on.
may I interrupt you about that for just a second?
Mhm.
I'm a retired history teacher and Latin teacher. But one of the things that I love teaching when I was teaching U.S. history, and my grandfather was a tobacco farmer in Monroe County, but basically tobacco saved Virginia. Probably a lot of people know that already, but that's just so interesting. And I'm not promoting cigarettes, but it's just that the tobacco saved the Virginia colony.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. For those that know me know that that's probably my first and only love in life. For those that don't, I mean, I grew up on a tobacco farm, so it is, I hold it very near and dear, kind of like Teresa said. So there is a lot of significance to the crop. So I really do want to put something together and present that. So when I came back to Greene County, a lot of newcomers to the area would ask me what the teepees were in the field in the fall. And so I worked a lot with the Newcomers Club here in Greene County, just going around and showing, you know, what it was and why we did that, why it was so culturally important to the area. But anyway, I digress. I want to do just a couple more introductions because, like I said, I've got my alarm set for 7:30. But I want to introduce Jenny Thompson. For those that were here last year know that Jenny was here manning the chat box a lot of times, along with Lucy. I think Ron's on here, Charlotte's on here. I don't remember who all else from my group. I can't see all of you. But Jenny was really instrumental in keeping the mics muted and answering questions on the fly in that chat box and just kind of keeping us on the even keel. So I want to turn the mic over to Jenny real quick.
Hi guys, and welcome. It's awesome to see. I've been watching the number fluctuate a little bit, so we have 53 on now because I think a few people had to jump. But this this program and the Master Gardener Program 2020 probably saved me from chewing off all my nails and pulling out all my hair because in the beginning of the year. My husband, who is in construction, was sent to Florida, and he was there for 9 months. And he would come home, you know, every once in a while on a weekend for a couple days. And then I was reduced work schedule down to 3 days from 5. So this helped me get through 2020, and I've learned so much. And Melody is awesome to work with, and I really enjoy the Ask Us emails. Glenn and I do that together along with Melody, and then we have a few other people that will jump in every once in a while, and you learn so much. I have a travel agent and airline background, Anna. And so answering questions is no big deal to me, but having to look up the answers reinforces it in my mind. So that was the real great thing about this program for the past year. And I look forward to doing it again for 2021. Although now I'm also taking the Tennessee Master Horse Program. So I'm going to be a little busy. Thanks, Melody.
Thank you. And just because I didn't call on you tonight, doesn't mean we're not interested in getting to know y'all. We're gonna, like I say, I think I'm just gonna kind of maybe implement that for the rest of the year. But when we do reconvene on January 25th, that presentation is not going to be quite an hour. So we may do the presentation, and then anybody that wants to stay on will get to know each other a little bit more during that night as well. The main thing, and Jenny kind of alluded to it, the biggest goal for us is to just provide you the resources to be successful, whatever that is, but also to have a little fun along the way, because I know for me, and I don't want to get sentimental, but last year, you know, I kind of appreciated the opportunity for some downtime and just the opportunity to kind of reflect and kind of, I guess, maybe gather my thoughts and figure out what direction to go in. Again, I'm one of those really active on the go type people, and a few of you have said that about not being there in the summertime when the garden's being harvested. I mean, it used to be a joke with me. I'd plant this big garden and then I'd be gone all summer. But I kind of appreciated that, and it just was a great time to kind of turn inward and realize that, hey, you know, we're all in this together. Again, I kind of said that earlier tonight, but you know, I'm thankful y'all are here because, as I said in November, y'all have stretched me, and I like the challenge. There's my alarm clock going off, but I like the challenge and just putting these presentations together. And again, the goal is just to make us all stronger and, you know, hopefully create this network that we can all depend on one another as we continue to move forward, even after this pandemic is hopefully behind us in the future. So again, just kind of settle in for the rest of January, and I'm going to be kind of working out some kinks too. If you've been in the Google Drive or on the website, you've kind of seen where I've shifted some things to try to make it a little bit easier to maneuver. Jenny's shaking her head. Some of you had sent me emails, and I would go in there and be like, well, I don't even know where that's at. Oh, well, if I don't know where that's at, then I know they don't know where that's at. So you might see a few changes. But hopefully in a couple of weeks, we'll have those kinks worked out. If there's anything not working for y'all on the technology end, don't hesitate to reach out. In your Google Drive, I'm also going to upload some information just on Google, how to use the Google Drive, how to use Facebook, just for anybody that maybe is not comfortable with that. Zoom, I've been looking for some information and I can't really find it, so I don't know. I'm going to try to put that in there too. But anyway, just kind of settle in. Mondays is when you're going to start getting information. Of course, if you attend these live sessions, know that the next day, that night or the next day, you'll get an email with that chat Q&A and access to the Google Drive if you want to request access. So otherwise, I'm not going to blow your email up, I promise. Do you all have any questions for me before we go? Because I know it's 7:30.
You have to tell us about your background.
This is my pet leopard, Lenny. Lenny the leopard. No, I'm just kidding. I got some looks there. One of the best trips I ever went on was to South Africa a few years ago. Well, I don't know. It was in 2014. And I got to go on a few game drives, and we got to go to Kruger Park, and I got to see the Big Five while on a safari. And a lot of folks, when they go there, we were told they don't get to see all the Big Five in one day. And usually they don't see the leopard, and we actually saw two that day. So it was a really cool experience to see that. And this is not blown up. We were literally just looking right up at him. So pretty neat. But I'm so glad y'all are here and looking forward to 2021. And again, don't hesitate. I can't stress that enough. I say that to my group all the time. They get tired of hearing it, but don't hesitate to reach out. And if nothing else, I will see you on January 25th, and look for an email tonight or tomorrow, and then again on Mondays, and we'll get into a routine.
Real quick,
Yeah.
we do have still a number of masks for sale. So if anybody wants masks that are Tennessee Master Gardener, that link that I put in the chat box, BSMGA, you can purchase them there.
All right. Yes. Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah. And just one more thing. If you want a printable calendar, if you're not a Tennessee, oh, you can't see that. If you're not a Tennessee Master Gardener, I'm going to put well, you can't see that at all. I don't even know how to make that better. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to put the PDF version in your Google Drive. But if you wanted one to be able to write on manually, we do have those for sale too, just FYI. Okay. Well, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Get those seed catalogs out and start dreaming. See y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.